As you can tell by the music, we're in the Menagerie. Yeah, we're going now. This one, you can see where we are. This one's going after the glass dragon. This is kind of one of my favorite gimmicky fights in the game. Well, for the side missions.
Well, maybe we can have a little fun.
Because right now, currently, he's weak to fire. Now, since he's a glass dragon, he gets hit with fire, he gets berserked. But the way to stop that is to put him on ice.
There.
And right after this, he is now weak to physical. After doing this, he's now weak to physical. Before that, he was just only weak to fire. And if you hit him with fire and he's in berserk mode, him and fire again, he's not weak to it anymore. And he's also highly resistant to mana attacks. And since he's a dragon type, it's really easy to get the first gauge up. He nullifies all status ailments. I'm not worried about Curse since I got Prevention. He also has Fail Blow, which is a low chance of insta-killing. He also has Calamity, which is like Grand Ray, except it hits everyone. And it doesn't hit, it's not multiple times, it just hits once.
I hope
but
you're
it's still
ready.
has really good knockback. Also, he has Grand Ray. He also has Curse, as you saw. Vortex, which is just a high-end, which is a hit-all for lightning. And he has Blocking, which of course nullifies any physical attack.
I can switch.
But other than that, he's not too bad. He also has 13,740 hit points.
I'm ready.
Oh yes, I'm sorry, he also loses his highly resistant. He also loses the high resistance to mana attacks once you break it and will do the little trick. Of course, since he's dragon type, variable strike does a lot more damage to him. Of course, you can still block it. And I slightly underestimated, underestimated how much of the gauge was going to eat off, because I was actually expecting to go with Angel Kampf. But Shade Shift is going to be useful.
Alright, I can go out.
Of course, like anybody who has Grand Ray, they always find the best way to use it, just so they can get in a turn just before you do.
No one can stop.
But let's lower their defense. Because it's great when you're weak to physical, and I get extra boosted. As you can see, gauge is nearly full again. Anybody asking why do I have taunt for her? Well, it's because I really couldn't put anything else on that particular item. I've never ever use it. There's Calamity. See, he hits once because great knockback.
Let's get this over with.
Unfortunately, I don't think you ever. Oh wait, yeah, you do actually get this ability, get this spell, but it's way late game.
This'll make it all right.
And weakness, which I think it's supposed to lower a stat, but I'm supposed to lower defense, but yeah, I've never had trigger where it really does.
Let's get this over with.
Oh, this is a double up skill. Well, problem is
Let's get this
the
over
knockback is a double up skill, so it's really not worth it. Definitely when I got Jade Shifts kicking
Let's
in.
get this over with.
Yeah, we're gonna hit him. Right. Yeah, I accidentally pushed the wrong button, so therefore I lost it.
This is getting interesting.
That's okay. He didn't have that many hit points anyway. Pretty good. Thing is even though it built up really quickly, it gets slower every time.
You will not be able to see my moves.
Look at quickness trigger. Let's do it again.
You will not be able to see my moves.
Oh boy.
That worried. As long as it's not silence on, I'm good.
I'm
Let's
ready
get this
anytime.
Well, we won't be stunning him, but
Right.
boost myself.
I'll just do as always.
The
Sanctuary of
yeah,
Light.
drop prevention, because I don't want to curse everyone else.
I'm able to switch.
That'll just get annoying real quick.
Let's get this over with.
And
I can do it.
might as well.
I'll show you. Keep going.
Since Final Bursts actually have no type, they of course are not enhanced by any striker abilities you have.
I'm going.
And there. We have the Azov Z, which is actually a reference to Atelier Iris series. I believe this the third one is actually a reference to. The sword actually does look like the one from that game. So we're gonna finish that off, and now we're gonna start turning in our assignments. Because, oh well, I'm sorry, we're gonna do one little thing real quick before we turn in assignments. We're going to explore a little extra area that I didn't show off in, well, the previous chapters. Is areas of the Heaven's Road we didn't go to because they were exact opposite direction of we needed to go to. And we really never got a chance to show those off. And really there's only one thing of note, well, two things actually. It's a gathering spot and an item. Now first, we're going to the gathering spot, and to get here we'll just go up to the upper floors. It's pretty quick to get to, and it's actually a pretty good mineral spot. The only annoying part is getting around these guys. And luckily they don't get too crazy. Actually, this place in general is good for various types of minerals. This one, as you can see, now you see the 4 here, and then there's one more a little bit off to the left. As you see, there's a lot of chrome crystals and carbon boulders. And some canyon rocks. So it's definitely good because you really don't want to go buying those now, even though they are reasonably cheap. You might as well just go here. There's no real reason if you can gather it to ever buy it, except for convenience. Yeah, those are... I don't know why I didn't jump there, but eh. And pretty much these are enemies, these are harpies and dragons. So pretty much Vayne and Nikki are gonna rip through them. Because they don't have that many hit points anyway, even the strong ones. Of course, from any dragons that, you know, the ones that are the same design as the glass dragon we just fought, you pretty much want to try to rob those rob those guys because and this is the item we're looking for, the speed fruit. You probably want to rob those guys because they have the dragon scales, and you also want to turn the snacks, which are dragon chips, which are also used for a good number of items during this chapter and later on. And it's better just to gather them up now. I'm just showing this little area off because you're never, I don't think you might come here one more time for a job, but you're definitely not going to really come here because there's really nothing worth anything except for except for gathering chips and scales. Because there's some hill jars, but those things are like ridiculously cheap. And we've gone beyond those anyway. 1,000 coal, who cares? And I just took that one out. Black feather, that's actually useful. This area is just if you want to find some strong guys to fight, because pretty much all the enemies in this particular section are strong enemies. So if you want to do some... Well, the problem is that they don't give enough AP to really grind here. If you want to do some AP grinding, so it's not even worth doing that. It's not even worth it. I mean, it's not ever worth doing it. And with that monster bone, I guess this was here just in case you lost your way and they didn't want to make you feel too bad about yourself. Yeah. That's the last time you're probably going to see this place. So, let's get some stuff done. But before that, let me do a little change in the schedule. I'll change it so she now gathers at the heights, because I definitely want some cobalt thoughts. And you see Pamela's now making the Formel fabric, because it's pretty much another up. Since she's good at making fabrics, you always want to do that. Let's turn these assignments. We haven't gotten enough to get to the next level of Menagerie for our rumor, but hey, we definitely want to have that on. And if you're trying to maximize how you're doing this, you should always, of course, switch to that rumor before you do that, because yeah, it's still worth 1,000 to do that. So now we just got 3 more jobs to do. We got a Chinook, and of course I made those globes and bright stones. The Chinook is found at the Bone Grove. You can go fish that there. It's a moderate, it's not really rare, it's just a moderate one. It's not the most common, it's a uncommon. I guess that's the best way to describe it. So we're gonna go and turn these other 2 things in though. We'll hand her the 3 billion stones. That's actually the reason why I was making them in the previous chapter, was actually for that, because it's a lot easier just to do that. And now I can just reap the benefits of not actually wasting time to make them in my own materials. And classrooms, the globes, they're a tag item. They're a no type damage, which is going to be very useful in the post game, let me tell you. But as I said, it's going to be a long while until we get there. So, finish that up. And lastly, go to the campus dungeon to turn in that fish. And then after that, we'll see if we can start some character side quests. Till then.